We got a banger today. It kind of threw me off my rhythm not having those Wednesday matches posted until like yesterday or whatever. So it's like, I just kind of woke up and went, oh yeah, we got to figure out a match to do. Like, and I'm just like, yeah, Rats Quack, you bet. That, you kidding? Let's go. And there you go. That was that. So here we are. I'm not warm, but that seems to be par for the course for today. We'll kind of last second just reach out to Machu like, hey, like, sorry for later, I'm getting y'all on stream. I know neither of these teams would mind. Just for dealings with them in the past, I knew neither of these teams would mind. Machu was like, well, I just got back from vacation and missed a bus, and you just kind of showed up with, what was the, I want to use this line, it was so good. It was rusty as a pre-2000s water pipe. So, you know what? It kind of seems to be par for the course for today. We're on brand. We're on brand for today. Top tier analysis. All right. For real though, both teams coming in 6 and 5. Both teams kind of looking to stay in this top 8 at the moment, right? Is it just top 8 in EMEA? Ooh. In which case, staying above 500 is going to be extraordinarily important. And so, I mean, it's two very, very tough teams. I mean, top 8 in expert is pretty scary. Like, all of these teams are dangerous. Interesting. We'll see if this is what Quack runs with. But, I mean, no boost, no chili card in the lobby, no Nikachu in the lobby. Okay, it was a Venture and a Brick Band. Oh, who's got the Venture player here? And Busan from map 1. I like Busan. It has been so nice having a new map. We had some issues with the FACEIT site yesterday for EMEA. I ended up having to just kind of create a custom game. Like where the site, it kept putting the match on hold. And it looks like that bug might have persisted into today's matches. I honestly couldn't remember who had the Venture player. I was thinking with the Queen Cops. I was thinking thought I remember seeing a Venture more with the, but that, yeah, no, it would be the other way around. Oh, I will say this. I feel like, is GCB the only change for this Rats roster? Who we got in lobby here? This doesn't feel particularly familiar. Show me some Overwatch. Oh, my freaking margins. Frick you, margins. That's the other thing about using a clean feed is I use specialized margins.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Round 1. Capture the objective.
Screw you, margins. Gorfa getting melted there right out of the gate. Noticing, I mean, the cast versus the Freya is the standout here. Is the big difference between the two comps, outside of obviously the tanks, but the range at which they want to work. The cast and the Diva, you know, well, they found that first fight up in this very close range, and Clafouti got a huge amount of value out of that first fight. Look at the ult charge there for Clafouti. 89% towards this opening Deadeye. Lands another headshot here. Just Quack rotate around towards left side. I hate my margins being broken. That bugs me so bad. And there's that early Deadeye. 60-second Deadeye here to kick it off. This is going to split Quack. Quack have been forced to kind of divide to avoid that. Now trying to regroup after a little bit of pressure. Find a low GCB and get the kill. Nicely done there from Kerfley. GCB got caught on the other side of the map. The other 4 teammates had made it into the dojo area. GCB does not make that rotation, and that was just a weak point, an Achilles heel of that comp. Nailed there from Kirkwood. I'm telling you, I'm so familiar. It's gonna take me a map to get warm. It's gonna take me a map to get warm. Yesterday was such a long day. I mean, it was an amazing day. We had 3 matches. I mean, great viewership. I mean, it was an exhausting, long day. Seemed to keep going and going. Hey, you know, I love doing the Photoshop stuff on stream. Let me do that again today. Random screenshot to lock in. Orbital Ray. Definitely need as many random screenshots as I can get thrown right into a Kitsune rush here. Oh, and Carfley's gonna hit pretty much everyone. 4 players hit by that rampage. Gargantuan. Rats don't have a whole lot to come back with into this. We're gonna get GCB swap into a Lucio. Doesn't want the Juno anymore. So they kind of reset supports. You got double DPS for Quack to hold this. Oh, if either of these land, it could be vicious. But speaking of, Deadeye Skull, Elku down. Was that a boop from GCB? I believe is what that was? I don't know. It was hard to tell. I don't know. I didn't see GCB over there. I just saw him. I mean, maybe Elku just tried to peek it. But that dominoes into a fight win here for Quick Academy. Ugh. Over the wall. Just barely has sight lines. Landed one of the take aims. There's another one. Hoodie's able to disengage. We'll have to check on, who is that? Who is Cliffooty? I don't recognize Cliffooty. They've had a mean opening round here. This is going to go to a final fight. Kerfley solo trying to hide the Kitsune Rush. Cannot live through that. Might have been able to get the rampage up if it could have stayed alive just a little bit longer. Alas, that is for another multiverse. Another form of reality. In this reality, Team Ratsgrabber won. Kerfley didn't make the right choice in the time stone. Is it just me, or did they just utterly destroy Discord? I swear I've gone and turned off pop-ups 4 times, and I'm getting like any little message from any server popping up in my top left-hand corner. I've turned it off 4 separate times. My brain doesn't like it. It's very distracting. We're going to start the Lucio carry for Rats. Exrosco does decide to match the Cassidy here in a little bit more close range downtown. Found first blood, but just leapt into a world of hurt. Vista is able to capitalize on that. Can get a good amount of damage on them as well. First cap has already gone to Rats here. Here comes the attack, though. But Kerfley roster down. Elku decides to move in. The back of a couple kills from Runas and Eru. Thought they might be able to get something done, but I will say, It being a little quieter on her day, it just reinforces to me the importance of getting teams on that schedule. Where these matches weren't scheduled, so they didn't end up on my schedule. Oh, come in something from a dead eye again. What? How come like if I don't move, he won't see me? It just leaps across the front. So that's the kind of game it's gonna be. Consider us sort of in from Kim. Gofudi immediately goes down. Fister was already dead by the time the rush comes into this fight. Carefully has both supports cornered, but no health to work with. GCB low finished off in a very, very messy fight. And to get both rushes invested into that fight as well. In comes the shout speed taxi. Fister with blade. Nothing to really combo with it. Oh, good knife! Carefully hit that with some range. Oh, what an opening pick. Now Rats is going to try to get aggressive, just see if they can equalize. I mean, it's really the only option they had. GCB low, Fista has to back away. Kim's still very low and trying to hit on a point. Yeah, they're not going to get out. It's broken. X-Rox and Oku cleaning up some in the bit of the mess. And just one excellent Gracie. Just kicked that fight off. Chaco benched. Oh. That's gonna be a 3-player rampage. Kim, do not see a Suzu. Suzu must have been used to try to, I don't know, avoid the early part of the dead. I'm not quite sure. I didn't see the Suzu come out. Clearly it was not available and carefully read it like a book. Quack will send us over to round 3. We're headed to Mecha Base to decide this one. Ooh, I say that. I did not see that's the Sal barrier. We are going to get one last good fight here. Harrison alive long enough. High to the corner is going to get the Tsune Rush across the point, and it will be difficult for Rats. Give me an uphill battle fighting into this. So Rats made him work for it, but Quack will send us to Mecha Base. Yeah, that's my bad. I just missed the sound barrier on the top right. I didn't see GCB was still in there. That sound barrier made it close.
Are you lot ready for some bloodshed?
Chaco says get in there. Cassidy showdown. No changes in composition this time around, with the exception of the Ramatra. Not a surprising change. I mean, you're gonna find a lot more value than a Diva here in Mecha Base. We kind of got more and more close quarters as we went through. We really did. This time we started like in the widest open, kind of medium, super close. And we've seen the adjustments that have come through accordingly. Honestly, it's probably would be seeing a Brick Juno here for Rats if it wasn't for the Junker Coin. Carefully is so devastating with those rampages and just with the JQ in general. I think they need the Suzu. But specifically for rampage fights. Just a theory. I'm no coach. Ooh. X-Ross gets popped trying to jump down from the Deadeye. Deadeye might not be, the biggest kill ultimate these days, But, you know, you force people to hide like that, and there's only, just nowhere to run. Which is able to find a corner target, and 48%, 50% essentially, and counting. Can you imagine stream bans? We just go off of FACEIT bans. Like, oh no. Your account must be in good standing to be in this chat. The Ramatra has been indomitable here on Mecha Base. They're gonna try to push through pit? Where are you going? No. They thought about rotating left. They're gonna just come back, rotate right. Tried to give them the old switcheroo. No, there's just an annihilation here. Sound barrier in the pocket if they need it. They'll drop it in a 4v3. Rampage from Kerfley. We'll get him healed up. Actually, a massive rampage. That might be enough. Yeah, they're gonna take Rexia down with that. We've got ourselves a fight here. Kerfley tried to chase down the Kiriko. Can't be able to swift step away onto GCB. Vista coming in to back him up and gets punished for it. But Clafouti is back on the case. Deadeye from X-Ross. Speaking of, that was a nice headshot from Clafouti. The flip is important. Runez is alive, is able to kind of hopefully tag in, hopefully for Quack, tag in long enough to get Kerfley back on the point. But X-Ross is already down. Elku's sound barrier is only going to hit 2. Drop it in on top of the Clafouti Deadeye. Woo, that was a dangerous move from Kerfley. Clafouti's going to turn around and find Runez with the back of that ultimate. Caught in a vortex. The ball cannot get away. Rats have got this one on lock. Try to keep an eye on our ban. Orisa banned out from Quack. We're getting a side swap as well. No, we're not. Rats are staying on attack. I'll go plug the Orisa ban in so I don't forget. I'll give you all some stats. And try to fix my margins for you. Boom. Have a look at some stats. Some statty stats there from map 1. I need to do a little margins fix here. Fortunately, they don't break nearly as often as they used to. I'll give it that. All right. Relaunch Overwatch. We should be good. What stands out on the stat card, y'all? Super close? Super close. Right? Quack had, like, higher peaks and deaths. Kerfley died more time than anybody else in the lobby. X-Ross with 9 deaths as well as Elku. And we're seeing a similar story in Elims on the other side, with Fistic just kind of has just a little bit higher peak in Elims. Clafouti, I mean, cut out of nowhere and, well, for me, making their debut as far as I'm concerned, as far as in my gray matter, which is not saying a whole lot these days. But, I mean, look at that damage output. Comes out of the cast, 22 and 9, 13k damage. Okay. We got the Soldier 76 band coming in from Rats. There's one. I don't know that I've ever used a Soldier 76 band on this channel. Okay, so we are getting Nikachu coming in for Arrow. As we head into map 2. Thank you, copyright free music. It's time for Suravasa. Map 2. Yay, margins fixed.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Ow! Up! Up! That was wild. That, like, my camera just started like dynamite of its own for a second. I think my keyboard needs a good cleaning. I think that was a key sticking is what that was. Oh. Yeah, Carfa kind of got stuck out in the middle. Wasn't able to back up into cover. And, you know, similar to what we saw in Mecha Base, I mean, we're seeing similar compositions. Obviously, there's a slight change with GCB going back into the Juno, which Elku finds that pick. Uh-oh. Now Elku is alone. But it is going to be a similar story with the Junker Queen is going to struggle as far as a direct sustained fight against the Ramatra. Dude, I love this skin. This skin is really good. I love the staff. Like, it kind of has like a serpent head or something on the top and it like rotates. Oh, that's really... I love this skin so much. Man, I'm mad I didn't get that one. I can't afford all the skins. Ooh, great dive. We're gonna get a shot on the back of it. There's the sustain of the Ramatra. Even with, it felt like, you know, Carfully doing everything that you should do on the JQ. There's just too much sustain with a Juno backing up a Ramatra. It is a lot of effective health to work through. Disengaged from the Kitsune rush. We did get Quack in control. Whoops. I meant to go to some, this pop. Just this side. That's not necessarily the Juno. Hey, you know what? Well, you know what I just noticed? Look at, Team Rats actually landed in perfect order. How did that happen? We're actually got DPS, tank support. How did that happen? Amazing. Amazing. Yeah, I got a little distracted by what was going on in chat there, too. Y'all toned it down a notch. 100%. But seriously, that makes me so happy. I really wish FACEIT would just would put him in order. Like, just put him in order. You know what roles people are. Put them in order. Ooh, no touch. Okay, I mean, Quack had a good opportunity there to kind of prevent this first cap. Yeah, I mean, that's an enormous touch out of the gate. We are going to get a beat. Okay, just a dry blade. No beat. Which means Runa's lasted about half a second with that sword drawn. Now we're going to get the sound barrier coming in. Look at you. Just gets destroyed. Ooh. Little bit of a misplay, a little bit of mistiming on the sound barrier. But I think, you know, got a little anxious on judging the timing of the Deadeye. You know, thought they could kind of catch the end of it where the skull wouldn't do that much damage. Absolutely misjudged that one. But what a great retaliation. Carfully got mad. X-Rox finds 2 through it. So despite early follies there, not only did Quack end up winning it out, but they win it out with the Rampage still in the pocket. Now, what I was talking about giving up that first cap, look how much percentage Team Rats got. Quack was there. They had an opportunity to deny that first cap and to contest. Now, you know, somewhere they saw something where they thought it was too high a risk, clearly. But, I mean, you can see how much percentage they sacrificed because of that call. Ooh, 2 opening picks out front while this tank battle is going on the point. That's going to open up all the avenues for Rats to flip this point. And at 72%, it's going to be a tough touch, particularly with Runes and Elku being the last 2 to die. Runes was still up, might be able to touch. You see Nikachu's looping around. Yeah, they're going to give it up. Thought about it. I think he just saw GCP sitting at the front door, and that's all it took. We're like, nope, never mind. Ooh, we're staying on this side of the map. We're going to ruins. Woo! Nice catch! Dude, Clafouti is nasty on this Cassidy. The Clafouti Cassidy. Wait, look at him go! Look at him go! For clarification, I meant that as an NBEM. Not trying. I have no idea. No idea. I have no knowledge on Clafouti other than they can click heads. All I know about Clafouti. This is going to be a big 10-0 fight. Open up here with Clafouti's Deadeye. We did have an orbital ray tossed in. Containing Rush has been invested as well. So far, that looks like it's going to be all it's going to take. I mean, it's the Clafouti Cassidy. Able to get the job done before Quick can invest anymore. And importantly, before Nikachu can build up towards that sound barrier. Oh, what a shot! Carefully is going to hit, too, when the Suzu has already been used from Kim. Reshi's going to pop the Annihilation, gets the extra 300 armor, and is able to drain Runas of their health bar in the process. Looking to attach the Tendrils onto X-Ross, but no such luck. Carefully there to protect. Nobody to touch the point. So that's the kind of game it's gonna be. Gino Bad, Circuit Royale from map 3. Let me go get that point on the board. So that's the kind of game it's gonna be. We are gonna get a side swap here. That one felt very one-sided. The stat card will echo that 100%. Clafouti with 4 deaths. What you doing? What you doing? Oh, yeah, you're putting out more damage than anybody else in the lobby. That's what you're doing for the second map in a row. All right, sounds like it's time for some Circuit Royale. What was our other band? It was a Ramatra band. Which we're getting rats baiting out Ramatra. Machu is in, fresh off of vacation. No swaps from rats. Let's get into it. Is this a Life Weaver or Yari backline? All right. X-Ross in the cami skin. Looking for the Fora. Ooh, almost got it. Fortunately for Fista, it was a body shot. A reminder here that rats banned the Ramatra. FACEIT got the early jump there, had the high ground position. Anakin. I mean, it's very dangerous in the far duel. Typically, whoever gets on top will win the duel. Big pit in, though. And Runas and Eru making good on that space creation from Machu. There's a little bit of that rust showing. It's all right. You'll break it off. Don't worry. Dumping some damage out into the spawn doors. Nikachu gonna roll out on the life waiver. Now we did get Eru back in. Oh, that's a good pick from Clafouti. Actually, I think the first time we're seeing the Freya from Clafouti today. Obviously, cast too short range to work on circuit, or to find good value at least in the first 2 points. You may see that swap a little bit later. But that early pick on Eru, who was 5% away from that Ant Matrix, you can see now kind of an awkward disengage from Quack. Eru returns to top everybody off. X-Ross is going to be the first to drop the Infrasights. Runa's coming in over the top with a 93% towards Barrage. Lands it direct onto Sigma, make it 2, and that Barrage is now ready to go. Machu pushing forward, but I feel like Runas can only go as far as Machu is. Just got so much damage output between Kim and Clafouti. Lafara's got to be very delicate on the timing. Okay, the Ant Matrix was keeping everybody at bay for the moment. Rexy got the Gravitic Flux ready to go. Let's check it out the Captive Sod. Nicely hit, right on the Fista. Did not hear the barrage. I believe Machu was able to survive. Ooh, but now the flux comes in. Machu barely put over the top of that halfway health mark to survive the slam down. The tree is now faded, but an Ant Matrix now in play from Kim. Machu's trying to pin out, successfully does so. But X-Ross gets caught. Let's check out Clafouti's pop here. Get some shots down. Ooh, onto a stock BAP. Elku's not going to fare any better. Clafouti finds 3, survives with, was that 11 health? Make it 4. That was an enormous ult fight. What was that, 8 ults thrown into that? I think everything but the 2 you're currently seeing. Every other ultimate was used. Eru's ultimate was used in the very beginning of the fight. Almost has another Ant Matrix ready to go. Are you trying to hit a VAR? just let Elku do that. Machu's starting to get a little warm. You see the kind of the slide pin to get back into cover. Oh, they've been scrimming Nikachu with the live weaver, but Nikachu's not going to work. Unfortunate. X-Ross with a good opening shot. Make it 2. Let's get some X-Ross pop. What are we doing? What are we doing with our lives?
No one can hide from my sight.
Beep. Oh, I thought you had the point blank. I thought you had the point blank. Oh, what a terrible time for a pause. Poor X-Ross. What a horrible time for a pause. Oh, we're back in. The answer was yes. Clafouti did survive. All right, that's enough Clafouti pop. Or, excuse me, X-Ross pop. What else? We got a couple of very aggressive ults available. Well, that's the Elku positioned particularly aggressively. You made Gravitic Flux out of Rexia. It looked like it just found Elku. Immortality field used. With this positioning from X-Rocks, I mean, gotta respect it. You see rotation all the way down to the right side. Oh, that was a dangerous jump. Kim just disrespect. As I say that, Kim just leaps up in front of the Widowmaker. The absolute disrespect. Push up to that high ground. I'll say, this looks like easy pickings for a barrage. Immediately! Immediately! Runa's had the same idea. Good direct finish off Vista. Quack will get the gong of death. Vista's barrage, the one thing that could stop Quack immediately. Okay, let's say there was a touch. There was a touch. I thought one good C9 deserved another. There's that barrage I was talking about. That's gonna break Machu's shield. Kinda just making the Reinhardt useless. X-Ross lands a shot from above, though. Able to cover Machu just in the nick of time as things were looking desperate on the point. X-Ross starts lighting up the kill feed. No, I meant to go up. I meant to do that. Oh, we can even do some of this. We're gonna get the sniper duel once again. You know, as you do. Sniper duel amidst the Orisa Reinhardt duel. You hear the bullets whizzing past Rexia's head as they're just ducking behind this cart, inching whatever progress they can. Oh, Vista tries to up here. I thought I got popped. You see Vista peek and immediately just ragdoll. Good shot from X-Ross. Right. See how Fista wants to try to utilize. There we go. Burrow just right onto the corners and go up for the sniper. Tried to, I mean, loved the vision. Not able to secure the kill. X-Ross had the healing. Good backup there from Elko. Nice shot onto Kim. Woo! That was nasty. So far, so good. Here for the Quack defense. They've eaten up half the time already. Well, sometimes I just gotta give my voice a break. Sometimes I gotta give y'all a break from listening to me. You know, it's all about using the negative space. I mean, sometimes I just want to take a sip of my drink. Captive Sun, this is going to be from GCB. That hit quite a few people. Yeah, an enormous explosion. Runa's going to get popped. GCB opening this thing up. Rats were looking at a little bit different position. Now looking like they're on their back. Zelku will fire Rexia on the back of that shatter. Both Ant Matrix in play. 4v3 is Oku is going to try to give the odds back in favor of Quack. No, GCB showing some Yari diff here in this particular engagement. X-Ross drops sight to try to hold. Even out of spawn, Oku providing some values. The pylon's still in play on this corner. Oh, that headshot was clean. Just not quite enough charge. We'll trade out for 2 before falling. I think it's going to be enough. You know the venture of the backline. Fista has a tectonic shock in play and is able to get X-Ross. That Burrow's going to do some damage. Will force out the immortality, which means it can't be used to keep Machu alive, who's desperately low on the front line. The heals try to come through as the Terror Surge is unleashed. Machu will not survive. Elkun will not either. It took them 3.5 minutes. Rats will get this car over the line. All right, we get the Sojourn duel moving into point B. Both of our hit scans swapping over. Ant Matrix at the top of the hill. Yeah, immediately. X-Ross popped GCB the moment that came out. Beautiful timing. What? It's been answered double. Rats are going to turn this thing. Fista gets quite a few. Still just... No, this is Fista's territory. Machu's had enough of the Reinhardt. Is into the Ducky Orisa. You hear Fista underneath once again. 3 kills in the previous fight. Ooh, but forced to recall out early, leaving GCB vulnerable to Runas. Elku's going to drop in a Captive Sun and try to hold this point, but Rexy has already gotten 2 with the Terror Surge. We're headed into hotel. Still with a good defense on point A, Quack only have to over 230 to force him at 4. We're looking at double support ults. Oh, excuse me, double DPS ults from Team Rats. Runas and Machu, like, just snuck into the back line. Air jumping up for some heals. The immortality field is perfect. Machu survives. The drop down from Vista does land on the Orisa, but everybody else is able to avoid it. Rexia finds the X-Rush through that exchange, but the later Fortify is going to put Machu in a huge advantageous position, forcing Rexia out. The defense will stabilize. What a flank. What a flank there from Runas and Machu. It looked like a jump scare for the entirety of Team Rats. You saw the whole team turn around and go, wait a minute, we're losing people on the point. Terror Surge comboed with the overclock, but the sound barrier from GCB hits all 5. Clafouti has their own OC to answer and is able to fight X-Ross through that exchange. Machu in a dangerous spot will not escape that corner. Pulse Bomb might have been able to flip it if it had landed. Ooh, GCB on fire gets taken down before they're able to regroup with the rest of the team. There's an Ant Matrix in play, but it's in a terrible spot, I'm afraid to say. This is taking a long way around up to the high ground. He's going to drop in to see if they can find Eru, who's low. Meanwhile, Kim's been able to clean up their own back line. Drops down for a regen burst, keeping the team healthy. About 30 seconds to go. And this is coming up all rats in this final engagement. Macho opted for a Sigma, heading back onto the defense. Looking to have a little bit more impact here. Is currently being out DPS'd by their supports. Almost being out DPS'd by both flex supports. So is the nature of Reinhardt. Yeah, not blaming Macho. But just given reason for the swap. That is not meant as shade, just a reason for the swap. Xros gets a kill with the Venom Mine. There's something you don't see every day. Good headshot landed onto Kim. And this is where having that Sigma can be way advantageous. All it would take is one set of hyperspheres. Fortunately for Rats, Kim is able to back behind cover before those land. Ooh, Machu getting a little bit overwhelmed. He's make sure and maintain space here as Rexia and the rest of Rats push forward. 20 seconds on the clock for him. GCB and Rexia managed to grab a little bit of high ground position. Don't feel comfortable enough to push the bridge just yet, though. You do have Elku and Runez covering this. Xros, honestly, with a pretty aggressive position here. Doesn't even back at statues. Just playing right up here on stairs. Yeah, there's going to go ahead and back up. All right, real fight going to take place on this corner. We're looking at an ult charge advantage from the majority of Quack. But this AM Matrix could be nasty. Especially if Machu keeps playing on the wrong side of the tracks. This is going to come in recognized. Slightly out of position take, but Machu's able to get out using their ultimate. Able to catch Rexia with that flux and put a stop to the Rats' attack. All right, for anybody out there wants to do a guess the location, that little couch would be an awesome spot for a guess what map this is. Just saying. Quack stop the cart. Second quarter point A. Have a buck 47 to work with. Enough time to pretty much guarantee an ult cycle. But defenders do tend to build ultimates first. Particularly on a poke heavy map like this, where your attackers are walking into those sightlines. And the defending tank can play that corner. Now, I mean, here we go. Command AA. Command AA in chat. Let's see if it pays off. Rats looking to see if they can close it out here. Quack looking to buck the AA accusations. Oh, they've read Fista. Yeah. They absolutely saw Fista move in that position. Nice directives, significant damage. Not enough to really threaten the lives of FACEIT Company. We do have the Reinhardt looking to come climbing this corner. And X-Ross is on a Bastion to back this up. Never mind ult cycles. The Bastion is going to land the grenade. I mean, immediately going into the mortar configuration. Runa is playing over the top. X-Ross is low. Immortality feels forced out. Machi's making a move. Catches Clafouti. Trying to go upstairs. Recall's been forced. Rexy is swinging wide, knowing they need to trade out sooner rather than later. Runas lands the shot on the fist, and there's no more DPS here for Rats. Ant Mage Trick is in play, and that should just do it. Fireworks and celebration out of X-Ross's. Quack with their first map of the series. We're headed to map 4. Hey, what happened to my Mega Googly? Why isn't my Mega Googly working? Wait. Rats, y'all have Coach Cass? Are you talking about like old Aoma Coach Cass? I didn't realize that. Runasapi pick here from Rats. Okay. This time it's Rats banning out the Juno. Nobody wants to play Juno. Nobody wants to play Juno. Well, what would be really funny is if Quack turns around and bans Ramatra. It will be the exact same bans from last map. Only swapped. And honestly, I'm just plugging it in because that's what I'm expecting. Let's go look at some stats. Did Elku outdamage Machu? That's the big question here. No. No. In the end, does not. The swap to the Sigma put Machu up above in damage. We also see the DPS of Quack outperform that of Team Rats the first time today. Clafouti had taken over the previous 2 maps. Genuinely just taken over the previous 2 maps. Right. Not this time. Cassidy band. Okay, it's not a Ramatra band. It's a Cassidy band. I genuinely went and plugged in the Ramatra band. I was like, yeah, no, they're just going to ban Ramatra. I know I would. I know I would. Oh, yeah, Kerfley. I think that would be the fair thing to do, but yeah. That's above my pay grade, I'm afraid. Of course, I certainly can't do anything about it. We are going to see the Ramatra. So, in lieu of the Cassidy ban, Clafouti picking up a Sojourn. And Rexia does, in fact, go right back into Mecha Matra here. Ooh, that second swing just barely missed Clafouti. Clafouti felt the air whiz past the back of their neck on that slide out. That was so ridiculously close. The range on that hammer is just a little bit further than you think it would be. And that, I mean, that was really, really close to being an opening pick on a Clafouti. I think that entire fight would have looked very different if that hammer swing had landed. Alas, Rats get first control of the bot. I actually really like that camera angle. It's kind of cool. So with Runas going into this May, they do not have a flanker to really mark Fista. So, I mean, you kind of see everybody's kind of keeping their heads on a swivel. Fista played up in windows at the moment. Elku is going to go up and challenge. Elku is going to be the one to mark for now. Can't just directly take that 1v1. Just gets a little boop in, goes away. GCB, playing off the coast, is able to outburst back towards the rest of the team. And a wonderful wall prompts Machu to go swinging for the fences inside, looking for the home run. It might have just been a big whiff. Looks like 2 strikes on the board. All right, sorry. NA Sports reference. Ant Matrix coming gone here for Quack. Kim responds with their own window. Slide out from X-Ross, able to get underneath the shots of Kim. But Rexy's been able to stay implanted here up close. Wall pin, but the Immortality field keeps them swinging. Whoa! Machu got the hammer down, but the pulse landed just in time. There was no follow-up. I guess not just in time. The pulse landed to get the kill. Period. If this goes to map 5, it will be your 5th map 5 this season. Lunar just be doing everything except turning 17. Stupid time. So far, it's 80-0 here in Runasapi. We're only 3 minutes in. The most comebackable map in the game. Like, by a long shot. Machi swaps over to the ball. Side of the... Reinhardt was just getting punished entirely too much. You've already got Fista in deep. Captive Sun, I think, was thrown inside. Unclear where that landed. I wish Captive Sun had little icons up top like hack or, you know, freeze and stuff. We need a sunspot icon up at the top. Anyway. Masha settles into a Ramasha after a brief stint on the Wrecking Ball. We did get a Blizzard on the point to help at least get a tank trade. That will favor Quack eventually, but they're still losing players through this exchange. Ooh. Arrow. Ducking and dodging, leaping, trying to find solace. Oh, the back of the peel is good. Elku. Well played, sir. Cinematic tournament camera. I do love doing the camera stuff. I mean, again, I did that. I did that professionally. Not for video games. But I did layout. Layout. My camera angles were what got me hired in my first animation job. That was what got me hired, legitimately. Woo! Machu stuck up against the wall. Easy pickings for a fist to pulse bomb. But this is the only DPS standing here for Rats. Important fight for Quack to try to get around this neutral center spot, but they lose Elku 85 to beat. Runa is just kind of hoping to stay alive, dancing around in no man's land. Quack to eventually have to give up that positioning and force play down from the bottom of the hill. They do have X-Ross's OC to push up that hill. Push up the shot. GCB spawns coming up right over the rooftop with the Captive Sun. Only has one target. Nobody bunched up, and X-Ross is Sunspot. The Immortality keeps him alive through the explosion. Headshot lands, and Fista is going to find a kill onto Runas. Runas had swapped off the May, by the way, after that Blizzard. X-Ross and Arrow just lighting up this side, though. It was kind of 2 separate fights. There was a fight for the center and then a fight for the outside. X-Ross and Arrow dominate the outside and come back to help win the second fight. And then, I mean, a crucial win there for Quack to keep him in this series.
Not so fast. Coming through.
We're going to have dueling annihilations. A lot of sustain. Oh, X-Ross popped early, though. Huge advantage. And Clafouti lighting up the feed. After taking him over maps 1 and 2, the Gauntlet of Quiet Sense has got 2 clutch picks here in this one. You're going to force Machu's annihilation in a very suboptimal situation. And a great turnaround from Rats. Putting them in control as they approach the all-important 3-minute spot here. Where's Vista? Vista's... Alright. I need an aerial. Where's everybody sitting up? Yeah, we definitely got, once again, kind of fight for center, fight for outside. Amp Matrix to help in the fight for center for Rats, and, well... Clofuti's already gotten first kill. Relentlessly marching forward. That is 3 swift picks. And checkpoint reacquired. Close spawns reacquired. Here from Team Rats as we hit the 2-minute warning. Yeah, exactly. I mean, honestly, it's a good question. It's a good question, but yeah, it's trying to anticipate what will happen based off of positioning and ults and. Sometimes you know, Clofuti just popped an overclock. You know they were playing off of that angle. You know they were looking to do something, and they succeeded doing something. Something happened. Now you got Runez playing out of that window. Has a pulse, but since Team Rats is disengaged to the building, like if they had disengaged to the courtyard, I would have gone to Runez's pop because they would have probably leapt in for a pulse. But since they went through the building, now you've got the 2 Tracers dueling it up top. Fight on the corner. Amp Matrix in the middle. Sometimes things just get messy. With the Amp Matrix up, let's keep an eye on this. Oh, Babs and Joel. Rexy's going to try to run it down. Puts themselves way out in the open to make that happen, though. I loved the boot from GCB to knock, from Elko to knock GCB out of the immortality. That was nice. No, that's a really good question. Honestly, no one's ever asked me that. It's a really good question. And sometimes I miss it. Sometimes I don't get it right. Like, I should have been watching this re-engage from Quack. Oh, but here comes the counterpunch. Amp Matrix Annihilation. And Quack has lost Eru. The sound barrier now fading. Double support ults already invested. X-Ross making their way back into the fight, as is Runez. Machu taken down. Rats in control. And sometimes it helps to not overthink it and just go with your gut. One last team fight for Rats to close it out. We're just going to park the bot right on the checkpoint and wait for the corner. We did get the touch, but Elku's down. Oh, a disastrous early pick. Can X-Ross equalize? Jumps in from the high ground with the overclock. Runez wins the duel with Vista back behind X-Ross. An important win. They do recognize that Rexy was trying to hide down low. Pulse lands. Looks like it was blocked. Immortality Field is out. Here comes the slam. Beautifully done. Rexy maintains the block and able to back away. Quack extending this out for another fight. Need to be flawless for 3 fights here. Sound barrier to get through first. Immortality Field already out, and Eru gets forced out of it. The entirety of Quack pushed off the bot. And the GG's in chat. Let's go get some stats. Now, to kind of go back to question. Like, like I'm doing all this myself, right? Like I'm kind of a one-man band doing this. If you're talking about like an OWCS broadcast, they have multiple observers. And so one will be dedicated just to free cam. You'll have a couple, like one will be dedicated to team A, one will be dedicated to team B or something like that. And then you have an observer director who is watching all of these feeds and can kind of pick a feed, pick a perspective, a POV, based on what's going on in the action they have at hand. So it's, I mean, the same process in decision making. It's still looking at ults and positioning and trying to anticipate who's going to be in a position to pop off. But they have it on a much more wider scale, more options to choose from, and it's a team of people. It's not just one person, right? Anyway, fascinating. Rexia allowed to play the Ramatra. Was able to come out on top there. I still can't help but wonder. If we looked into the time stone and chose a path where Quack banned the Ramatra. So sure, you let Clafouti go into the Cassidy, which was very problematic in maps 1 and 2, no doubt. But you're able to play a bit more of your own game. And even with the Cassidy banned out, we still see Clafouti come in with an enormous amount of damage there in map 4. 22 and 5. 12k damage. Enormous. GG's all around. Looking at standings, Team Rats will move to 7 and 5. Quack will fall to 6 and 6. So Team Rats, I mean, basically maintain their spot. They were, what, 7th seed when we started the day? So, and that's just with yes, haven't played their 12th match yet. 6 and 6 is top 8 is still, I think, where Quack wants to be. I think you're gonna have to stay above 500. So I mean, they're skirting that line right now. But I mean, also kind of we had Machu was on vacation, and it felt like this one was a little like kind of Quack weren't quite at their best at the beginning. I mean, I mean, love y'all, but you looked a little less coordinated today than we've seen y'all in the past.